Speaking of like nostalgia and like story, I've never told you this before, but you know what's so funny? I thought that you did not like me in the beginning. when I first met you, I remember I first met you at Story. Nice dapper deer suit, looking really great. You know what I'm saying, and all that. And like, there's been like multiple occasions where like, cause I didn't know, this is my first time ever like working in nightlife. Like,
You know,
ever.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I saw you the first time, you were new there.
Yes, very new.
So
I
you
opened
were,
up Story.
You were young too. You know, you
Yeah.
were like young and
20,
new. So the thing
23.
is, you were very nervous, and there was
Yes.
all like too
Yes.
much new to you.
Yes.
So
I was in the back
saw
of the
that.
DJ. I was in the back of the DJ.
Yeah. So for me, it was like, when I work, it's basically like
Yeah. Hello.
straight
I know.
work.
Yes.
You know,
is that all Germans, by the way? Yo, y'all don't fucking play.
I think, to be honest with you, there's no way that I cannot focus 100%.
Yeah.
So I cannot do like certain things, like period. No mediocre work. So I cannot just like do one thing here and jump in another one.
Bro, seriously. And then like afterwards or whatever, when I like started to get to know you, know that I was like, no, Dilo, he's on his work mission. It's cool. I'll see him later.
To be honest, like, you know, a lot of people who don't know me, they think like, what an arrogant asshole, man. Like it's.
I mean, but listen, bro. I mean, look, here's the thing. When it comes to like nightlife and stuff, man, like I'm not saying it comes with the territory, but like there's a certain presence, not arrogance, but like there's a certain confidence that you need to bring when you're actually working in these establishments.
You gotta have a hard shell.
You got to, man, because you're gonna get eaten alive.
You know, the thing is, you know, but I always had this typical mentality, you know, no matter what other people think, it's all about how you feel about yourself and what type of work you do.
Yeah.
And, you know, if I do my job great, no one can do me shit. And no one can tell me anything because I did my best.
I think the most important thing too, and I think one of the things I love about you is that like people may love you, people may hate you for no reason, people may not like you, but you know what the biggest common denominator of after all those people? They respect you. And everybody respects you, bro.
You know, my brother, it's the same way how you do it. I think when you respect yourself, everybody else, you actually show people how to treat you. So for me, it was like, listen, I don't do anyone harm. I don't do anyone wrong because I respect myself. If someone does that to me, I'm not going to accept it. I don't like it. So in order for me to be accepted, it's first I have to accept myself the way how I want to be treated.
Yeah.
So if I don't treat you that way, he cannot be treating me that way.
Yeah.
You know?
No, definitely, man. Definitely.
And this is the mentality that I had since day one when I moved over here.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought like, hey, listen, you know what, like they judge by the way how you dress, the way how you basically talk, etc. You know, so for me it was just like, if I would have listened to people what they think about me, I would be a lot busier with their comments and their thoughts.
Yeah, you can't really worry about the noise. Yeah, definitely.
So I took a step back and I was like, you know what, it's different culture. So, but I would keep my mentality, work ethic, and let's go through it.
But before we get into that, let me do my intros real quick. All right, Mike. Welcome everybody to another edition of Convos with Bishop. My name is Marvel Bishop, Mr. No Way But Up, the Master Delegation, the Walking Icebreaker, the Ace of all trades. I am here in beautiful South Beach. You know what? That's actually the word of the episode. Beautiful.
It is?
Yeah, it is. It is definitely, man. I am in the beautiful estate of Avo, right? Avo, Miami. In front of me, I have a person that I've known in the industry since the day I've been in it. A person that is one of the hardest working men that I know personally, from a personal standpoint and also from a professional standpoint as well. Great person inside and out.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Listen, that's the reason why I'm doing this show, man, to give everybody their flowers, man. And has definitely left a mark within this industry as well, too. And it will continue to keep on leaving marks with his new ventures, Mr. Dilo. How are you, brother?
Pleasure having you.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Thank you for opening this spot up, man. So
I gotta tell my story how I met you, right?
Okay, go ahead. This is the first. Oh my God! Please talk. This is great.
You know, the thing is to have this gentleman here in front of me it's a great like it makes me really happy and I see how much this guy grow and I would say the last 10 years. I remember the day and the time I met Marvel. That story.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the way how I was, it's just like really straight to the point, working, and I don't observe what's surrounding me, like beside what I have to do. And I see this young, huge guy in front of me, like nervous and observing the whole surrounding.
Yeah, you got it.
And I'm like, you know what? This guy is new here. I have not seen this guy here. So.
Yeah.
I look at them and I'm like, hey, what's going on? What's your name? You new here? He's like, yeah. Like you realize that. And that was it. So I just, from that day, I was just saying hi and like not really getting into
we're just now actually starting to get to know each other a little bit more.
I think after a few years, we started to talk and like, hey, what's going on, brother? Hey, I need this guy to have more attention. I need food service here, that was getting more involved into a conversation.
Yeah, I feel like at that time, like you were definitely one of like the premier promoters that like was just so I don't want to say anal, but yeah, okay, fine, anal about your job, but to the point where it was actually great because you saw the progression of the work as well too, and a lot of different other people like following your footsteps too. By the way, like you've definitely left the mark to the point where like people have like mimicked your style of work. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh my God, a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I love that. You know, I was an inspiration for people to the way when I came here, the American style was like a nightlife, completely like the urban and the whole hip hop and like the 90s style. And I was already like, nah, man, like if you provide a full service in the high end environment, you have to give yourself in a different way to the customers, the way how we handle those wealthy people.
Definitely.
And that was for me like, you know what, I have to look different from everybody else because I'm providing a different service for like no one else. And that was my line that I guided through with dressing up very, very upscale.
So before we get into that, because I have a whole entire section when we talk about that, let's talk about the beginnings, because that's what I usually do. And that's how I get to, because a lot of people know the promoter, the cocktail waitress, the security, the owner of who they are now, but they don't really know their beginnings and their story. So you're originally from Germany, correct, right?
Correct.
So if you could please just, I mean, the best question I could ask is honestly, like, you know, like your beginnings, your humble beginnings as well too, and how you got here.
All right. So when I moved here, actually, I moved for something else. So I moved from Germany over here.
Okay.
I had an idea about opening trucks, like the food trucks, company, and put them in front of the clubs. So we have this popular gyros in Germany that everybody who leave the club drunk, the first thing you get in front of your face is basically that gyros.
Nice, the food.
You know, it's the food, and it tastes really, really good. So that was the idea, because I didn't see anything in front of the clubs when I used to come here and visit. But, you know, we all have plans, and my plan was that it didn't work. So I got into a nightlife, and I literally started from scratch. I was the first promoter in Miami, like walking on the beach and inviting people.
And what year was that, if you may?
That was 2010.
2010. Okay, so this is like.
So there was a lot of promoters on the street giving wristbands, etc. And I was the first host, basically. I remember in my first days in Mention, they told me like, hey, we just need good-looking girls. And if you can somehow bring like 10, 20 girls, we're going to pay you this flat. And I'm like, this should be easy. This shouldn't be
Well,
a
not
problem
everybody's
for
as
me.
good looking as you, Dilo.
No. The thing
Like,
is
yeah.
also like, for me, it was like, dude, I have been on a beach and I have seen so many girls, but I didn't see that many promoters that offering something for free. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a try. So I'm gonna be here for 3 months anyway. So let me try that. The first day, I remember, I would never forget that I had a school sending me 96 girls. I had like 3 schools, one from downtown, like language schools, and I remember they opened the whole middle door at Mansion.
Yeah.
And they let the whole like buses going through.
Nice.
Only girls. And that was a moment that I had basically the management attention. Like, hey, listen, we would like to have you not only at Mansion, we would like to have you here and there. And this is how I started, man.
Yeah. So like that was pretty much like your gateway into, you becoming like one of the more premier and best promoters, basically, right? Nice.
So that was basically the start.
Yeah.
Basically from starting being a promoter on the beach, then getting to being a host at different venues.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, and one of the things that I know about you now, that I know that the reason why you're so successful now is because of how you were, which is a person who is very diligent, very respectful, but also is a master of his craft. So you being in promotions and hosting, was there something that you were seeing in other promoters that were missing in the promotion life?
I'm being honest with you, I always saw myself, I was coming from Germany, like I was studying business management and I had already the knowledge about how people act to different things in certain way. And I have seen so much potential in the nightlife here that I was like, you know what? You can step up your game in a way that it's going to be a lot easier than somewhere else in Europe.
Yeah.
So that was the start for me to say, you know what? I'm gonna feel very, very comfortable starting here because it's something that I already know how to handle people. Also, I have dealt with wealthy people in the past. So there was for me something like, you know what? No one is better than anyone. Like, I was just on the same level as wealthy people. And they see that, they feel that. Like, if you have a person that is trying like to sell somebody a table to force him or to make him feel like, hey, you know what, you can go anywhere you want, but with me, you're gonna have the best service.
Yeah.
Without any like a pushing aspect that make him uncomfortable. That was my strategy to start in a business that I was completely confident to work in.
Did you so would you say that was pretty much the time that you actually came up with Beautiful People Entertainment? Was that a little bit before?
Thing is, they told me like, in order for you to get paid, etc., you have to start a company. So for me, it was like always I had companies in Germany. For me, it was like, you know what, I'm putting people together.
Yeah.
For me, it's like not about like beautiful people. It's basically a lot of people has understood. The first thing in Miami was like, oh, he's all about like good-looking people, etc. But for me, it was like to put those beautiful people outside and inside together. So basically, the right people came always together. We attract who we are, and I had the best and pleasure to meet people that were on the same vibration level like me, that I appreciate the time, like, in getting to know those people,
I kind of want to stay there real quick because that's actually one of the things that I've realized, like, just like looking from the outside in, especially working at Story, when I see how like you move and how you navigate and the type of people, the type of girls, the type of clients that you have, is that there weren't, because there's been plenty of times where I was at your table when I was actually taking care of you, and just not the type of people that you had were like not just aesthetically or appealing, but they were actually good people.
Really good people.
Like really, really
Marvin,
good people.
I would tell you one thing. I enjoyed my period time as a promoter and host a lot more because of those people. You know, the thing is for me was like I even denied a lot of people not to host him, not to take any tables, not serve any tables. Was like for me it was also like, hey, you know what? I have a standard, and I want people to be on the same level like me.
Yeah.
In order for me to host those people, and you know, it might be like hurting a little bit, like not to have the $200-300 extra from one client. But to be honest, I'd rather be like very, very comfortable and feel good to be around people that I want to be around.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, definitely. No, that's amazing. So as you were pretty much, you know, growing up and pretty much doing your thing within your career as a promoter, as a host for Mansion, all these other clubs, and then that's when you pretty much started your Beautiful People entertainment lineup.
Yeah.
When you first started up, what were your trials and tribulations? Like, what were your challenges with, if you had any? And if you didn't have any, you know, it's all good. But like,
man, you know,
with having a promotional company, because there is,
oh my
because
gosh,
everybody wants to be a fucking promoter.
Yeah. So I started in a time like that was really tough because we had so many in Miami.
Yeah.
You know, we had already established like a lot of people for each venue. So it became very hard for me in the beginning because of so many competition, if you would see that as a competition. But I had to deal with a lot of stuff that I was not aware of with people that are in the industry and were in the industry at that time. But if I look back, you know, those things had to happen in order for me to become who I was.
Of course.
And after many years, you know.
Yeah, I remember the one of the things that, and I think this is probably an appropriate time to talk about it. One of the things that you were actually talking about, as far as getting through things, especially with your challenges, is having the mindset and having the ability and having the cognitive ability to be able to push through times of duress. Because not everything is gonna be guns and roses. Because here's another thing too: a lot of people that go to nightlife that actually enjoy themselves, what do they see? They only see the pretty women, they see the drinking, the popping the bottles, the parades, and all that. But they don't see the countless hours of trying to get these girls to the club. They don't see the countless hours of like having conversations with your clients to make sure they can come in to spend the money as well too. And before that, to develop that relationship. So if you can, you know, please talk about that.
You know, in the beginning was just literally, like you said, like fun, till you say, you know what, I'm way better than that. I want to take it to another level. And this is when you're face the uncomfortable zones that you actually have. In order to grow, you have to face those zones. And at some point, I was like really going through some obstacles that I was like, you know what, in order for me to grow, I have to go and face it.
What was those obstacles? Can you give me one?
Like the political things with nightlife. Nightclubs was like, oh, if you work here, you cannot go work there, and you cannot work here. And I was an independent contractor in that way that I was like, you know what, I'm bringing you a great product, I'm bringing you a good service, and I just don't like the fact that you're putting me in a tight spot to tell me like, hey, if you do this, I'm gonna cut this. And I was like, you know what? In order to grow, I have to be so independent, so strong that nobody is trying to get rid of me because I'm starting something new. And I was like, you know what? I'm not letting that happen because if I do that, you're gonna put me even more down. So I started to cut ties with those people and do things that I was like, I have to make that decision in order for me to grow.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. And once you made those decisions, you know, that pretty much puts you in a better position to pretty much strive and to succeed. And you were lightly talking about, you know, one of the things that I guess makes you unique and different. And what we were talking about beforehand, so let's bring it up now because I think it's the appropriate time. So, guys, just let you guys know, audience, I know they're like, yo, why is this motherfucker in there friggin' a button up and a friggin' slacks. Have I ever dressed like this? Never, right? Ever. Because I had to show some respect to the man real quick. I believe, the best dressed man in nightlife.
I appreciate
no,
that.
For
man.
real. Like,
I
honestly.
appreciate it,
Yeah. So, which is actually, if you really think about it, that can actually is a problem in these day and ages. Anybody can, you see it. Anybody can fucking dress however they fucking want.
I know, and you know what? To be
it's
honest,
not like how it used to be.
No, for me, that was something that I did it for myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if, I love to dress up and I love like to look proper when you go somewhere that people are like meeting and talking about business.
Mm-hmm.
And you're part of it because after their meetings and after their business meetings, they basically want to go out and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
So all those people are like dressed up because they're coming from somewhere now. After the meeting, I had to host them.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was like to keep up that level, I have to be one of them.
Yeah.
And this is how I end up like start loving like suits, etc. And man, I had at some point 114 suits in my closet.
114 suits?
I had to give a lot of them away. But yeah, like Miami suit guy,
wow, okay.
I'm probably knowing for suits and dressing up.
Yeah.
Since I started this business, man.
So how about this? You have a young Dilo, right? Who's coming in straight from Germany, right? And he wants to be a promoter. He wants to be an actual like nightlife guy, right?
Yeah.
What are some of the tips that you would actually give him or anybody else that needs it to really show themselves differently, aesthetic-wise? Like, what are your...
You know, my secret in this business was being authentic, being real. You know, for me, it was like, you know, I had beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous woman. Mm-hmm. I didn't feel the energy that was giving because I think no one is better than anyone else, and we all here for like to have fun. Mm-hmm. You came to Miami to have fun, and for me it was like, you know, if I felt like this person fit the whole concept. And we share good energy and we feel and we have the same interests. Mm-hmm. That was the type of person that I would love to have around me. Mm-hmm. And the problem was in the beginning, I came from Germany, so everybody's like, real, you don't need anyone else in life, you know? So I was depending on people in order to get paid. So for me, it was like, man, it's very tough to find those type of morals and to people that trying to go out, they are here for a short of time. But I didn't cut my morals in order for me to be successful. So I didn't stop to like have my boundaries to say, hey, you know what, I love to have you around me. That's the reason why I want you to come out with me. And that was the point for me. I was like, you know what? I love having those. That was so real because when they came out at night, I had so much fun. Yeah. I was myself, not acting like everybody else, just in order to get paid. Of course. So that was the difference. And I think the most important thing is like you are real and true to yourself. And this is how people feel that. So I was always authentic and real to people who were out with me for them to enjoy themselves too. Yeah. So the best advice I can give, you know, you have a great personality, just don't hide it. Be yourself. And there's a lot of people like you. You know, we all are different in a way. Yeah. But we have the perfect match too. No, definitely. So in that case was for me like, hey, listen, I'm not gonna try to be somebody else in order to be accepted. I'm gonna be myself, and whoever follows me, it's gonna have fun with me the way how I would have fun with them. You know? So and that's definitely great. The one of the ways too that I feel like you were able to attract the same like people is because the way that you presented yourself. So with like your techniques and like, you know, the way that you dress, I know you said you
you own 114 suits, which is absolutely maddening. I barely have 5.
Hey,
Yeah. 114 suits?
You know, the thing is, for me, whenever I go to Germany or Europe, there's no way around that I don't buy at least 3 or 4.
I got to buy 3 more, right?
Yeah. So the thing is, because I have so much passion for it, I love to dress up and I love to have suits.
So since you love to dress up then, so how about this? Let's get into the techniques that you have as far as like, or like maybe even like some type of advice, whatever, that you actually give a man, like a young man who wants to be a promoter on how to dress.
Yeah. You know, I was really happy. I saw the new generation looking up, and a lot of the young people now, they dress up very nice too. Like they dress up suits, etc. And that's
not all of them,
but some of them that looked up.
Mm-hmm.
And yes. I see how the transition was, like how they started and now how they dress up.
Yeah,
it makes me really happy. It doesn't matter if it comes from me or not. It's just a point for me to put out there that I appreciate those people who do.
Yes.
Because it takes time to do those things. So for me, it's inspiring to see people that really, really dress up nice, because this shows how you feel about yourself, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely.
So advices, I would say, like, you know what? I went to tailors and I then brand new suits, I cut them and tailored them and I put the right colors together. You know, after a while, you learn how actually color goes together, how the pants should be cut, how the jacket have to be tailored. You know, so it's like after a while, you know exactly how you like the suits to be on.
And also too, with that being said, there's also things that before you even leave the house, before you go to a club, before you start working, like you definitely have to have these things to be able to be best prepared. So here's my advice. This is what I think. A watch. I think you need a watch. Like you have to have a watch. You got to have time. And also
the watch. To be honest, the watch for me was like, you know, I was always into watches.
Yeah.
So when I came here, the business that I was in, like, I mean, the industry is all about material things. And also even the customers that I had, they will look up to you and like, hey, listen, I have a nice watch, but he has one too. You know, so that was for me, like, you know what? I didn't
like
have
rich people know watches.
True. I didn't have to change a lot because I already was into those things.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, definitely. No, I got you. A second one, a portable charger.
Oh my God! I remember back in the days I was walking with 2 or 3 because those things were not.
No, they wasn't as small as it was right now.
Oh my God! Like the phone were
There's
not.
like you being a host or you being in nightlife and having your phone die is like it's a cardinal sin.
No, it's basically cutting your check. You know, for me it was like I had, you know, the adapter that you had on the phone. Then I had a remote one. Yeah. Like I had and a full charged phone.
Yeah, I got you.
And then just to survive the whole night. And then back in the days, I used to do also the after hours. Like that was something that there was no way around that you have to have it. Yeah. The worst thing that could happen to you, was like your phone dies and then you. Yeah.
And then the last one, and then we'll continue. You gotta have your hair cut, man. You gotta have a nice hair, bro. Like
it took me over two years.
Bro, I've never seen like you have had the same haircut for like the same.
You know, I love making my hair, and that was literally like for me to when I came here, I had to change probably like 20.
Oh, really?
In order for me to find the right one, I'm coming from a hairdresser family, so
okay.
all of my family they've been in the industry cutting hair, and that was something for me that I was like. There's no one really like cutting European hair here.
No, definitely.
Till I found the right person.
No, definitely. So, no, man, this is great. Definitely learning different things, different trades, and everything else too, on how to be like the best host and everything else too. All right, let's fast forward a little bit. So, and one of the main reasons there's many reasons why I'm talking to you today, why I have you on my show. Plenty of reasons, but the top reasons why I have you on my show is because as being in nightlife, as being a person who's been in it for so long, that literally came from the ground up and has become a very respected, nightlife concierge and now an owner as well too. Congratulations on that, by the way. We're gonna get that in a little bit.
We just got voted to the best Mediterranean restaurant in Miami.
Shouts! Oh, well, congrats! Oh, nice, good. Yes, I saw that. Not everybody has the vision in order to do what you're doing right now. And I've said this again, and I'll say it again. I'll say this over and over and over so people can understand that nightlife gives you a lane and a certain opportunity to have a life that nobody else can have if you do it the right way. Because just as fast as you can get money, the money can pretty much go.
You know, Marvel, I totally agree with you. For me, it was like, where do I go from here? I have all the connection that I can do anything I want. I would be able to connect with those people I learned and get to know like through my time in the promoting. And at some point, anyone who has done it is gonna get to the point like, now what? So when I got to my point, now what? Because any goal that you try to reach in the industry, you always want more.
What year was that for you? What year was that for you?
That was 5 years ago. So 5 years ago, I really reached a point that I said, dude, you have the best parties in town. You make enough money and a lot of money. And you reach goals like that you set them 5 years ago. Now you at the point to say, you know what, where do I go from here now? And every time that you set a goal, I was actually like unhappy because you think like during that time, like, hey, listen, I reached that goal. I should be the happiest person now. I don't need anything else. But no, you always look up to do more because now you reach this goal that you thought it's going to make you the happiest person, but no, you want like something else now. So at that point, I was like, you know what, where do I go from here? Like for me, nightlife is something that I really love and I like the people that I met. But I need to do something with purpose.
Yeah.
You know, I have to do something and add my story for this community, to knowledge, my value to what am I adding to this world? What am I changing? What is my message? And
the message. Sorry to cut you off, but like the message is way more than just getting drunk or getting girls, you know, having fun with girls and everything else, and popping bottles, like, and having a client spend $50,000 on the table. There's more to life than that. 100%. Like it's great, but there's more to life than that.
So that was that was my question. I was like, you know what, I am more like I'm capable to do more than this, and I know I can do more. And that was for me like, what am I doing with purpose to change my life in a direction that I can add something, like without getting you drunk. I want to get you healthy. So I want to get you in a better shape. I want to get you in a position that I motivate Marvel. I motivate all my other guys to move in a direction that, you know what, let's take advantage of what we like what we learned and what experience we had in nightlife, to take advantage of it and involve in something else that we are actually more than just basically, like you said, getting drunk and doing nightlife forever. And that was a purpose for me to find out for me, like, hey, what is that makes you really happy? What do you do that your son is going to look up to you and keep that message in order for you to leave something behind that is really powerful? And I came with the idea that we need something that is so authentic, like healthy food. At that time, you know, to be honest, in Miami, it was just like, if you were looking for something healthy, it was all about wraps, salads, acai bowl. And I know for a fact, I started to be healthier like 5 years ago. There's a lot more that you can provide in order for you to get something healthy. Like real cooked food, real cooked dishes that actually have a lot more nutrition, more minerals and good fats and like really good quality food. It's a lot more nutrition in just regular cafeteria style of food, you know. And I came up with the menu, and I came up with the idea behind Avo.
Nice.
And
congratulations
I
again.
appreciate it, man.
Congratulations again. I cannot say that enough.
This is something that I really probably say this has been the most beautiful journey in my life. You know, I have a son, he's 7.
Nice. Yes. Oh yeah.
And this is my second baby, and I have a lot more coming, and we're trying to expand. So this is something that I am really into it right now. But nonetheless, I love doing the dinner type of parties.
Of course.
We keep going, and we're growing in a direction that I really like to keep those dinner parties. Not nightclub anymore, but
well, I mean, what I think that nightlife is kind of heading into a different direction now.
You know, I would say in order for you to keep those hours, you have to be also very young, to be like wild.
Yes.
And go out without even
going out and working 10 years ago is a lot different than doing it now. Now I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm getting cracks on my damn back. I'm like, yo, I'm fucking tired.
So
like,
for me, it was like, you know what, I don't mind doing those dinner parties because I have fun doing it. You know, anything that you do, you really have to figure out for yourself. Like, do I like what I'm doing? Do I love what I'm doing? Because if you don't, and if you do it for money or any other purpose, you're not gonna do and give you 100%.
Yeah, facts.
And this is how people feel it too. So you gotta be fully 100% committed to what you do in order to be successful.
So one of the things I know for sure, other than nightlife and other than your concierge company, that you give 100% to is obviously your baby, which we're right here. The name Avo. Where? Okay, I need a story. So where did that come from?
Avo is very simple. You know, Avo is a short cut of avocado.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. Okay. Nice.
You know, the thing is for me, I traveled a lot in my life, and I been always looking for things that is on the menu here in Miami. You know, for me it was like I wanted to have all of that here. Like, you know, when you look for things in Miami, it's basically there's one spot is good for salad, one spot is good for the power bowl, or like a bowl. There's one spot is good for coffee, and one spot is good for like, I don't know, a toast. And I'm like, no, you can do all of that.
Yeah, no, definitely.
In one concept.
And I definitely see that when I looked at the menu. That you have a wider range of everything. Like you don't really.
If you really look at it, it's basically like your whole entire day is placed in one dish that you can survive the whole entire day with the energy and the nutrition that is needed for the whole entire day, what your body needs. And this is something that I put out there for healthy people, also for people to get better with not sacrificing the taste of the food.
No, definitely. Speaking about taste of the food, I think we're having some food come up in a little bit. Are we? We are.
Yeah,
okay,
I
cool,
ordered something for you guys. Very simple things.
Yeah, no, definitely. We want to be able to have them bring it so we can actually try it out, and then definitely talk about the inspirations and everything. So no pressure, guys. So okay, let me ask you this before the food comes. You gotta have like a lot of courage to come out with something like this, because everybody at the end of the day tries to have some type of food installation and anything like that. And also, too, here's the thing. And another thing is that I forgot what the odds are of having a successful food and beverage startup. It's like 90% of them like fail within the next 2 years. Yeah. So like, but I know yours is going to be successful. I'm not worried about that. But it definitely takes some courage for you to do this.
I literally had 95% from the whole entire industry telling me, don't do that.
My point, exactly.
Don't do that.
Like,
And I had people telling me like, I don't know what the heck is going on with you. You're not a restaurant guy. And you know, Marvin, anything you do in life, it's basically, if you see yourself as a customer, if you see yourself as a person that is looking for something like that, that means basically something out there is missing.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and for me, it was like, I believe so much in the product. Don't get me wrong. I had the most headache in my whole entire life opening this restaurant.
What was one of the biggest headaches?
Permits.
Top three.
Permits.
Okay.
Permits, finding staff, trainings, like those things where
The permit was probably the biggest one.
permit, the city
Yeah.
is like the toughest city, I think.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
opened during the COVID. So that was like really tough to find staff that were able to work. And, you know, the consistency is
Yeah.
also very, very important to keep
Yeah.
it. Because a lot of restaurants, they open and they change a lot and they don't have the same product over the period of time. And this is how you shock and lose the customers. And I always had the power to say, you know what, I am the customer first before any owner. And this is what I would like, and this is what I would like to give my customers. From my perspective, anything that goes out has to be first, as would be for me, in order for me to give it to you. You know.
And I do believe that that's actually like the DNA of like very successful restaurant and food and beverage owners. They don't just want to just come out with stuff like this just because. They actually do the research and they find out what they want, but also what the customer wants as well too. And they do that reverse engineering to see what they can actually bring out. You know?
And that was something.
Not because like, oh, I have a lot of money and I just want to come out with a freaking restaurant. No, bro,
to be honest,
it's not gonna work. Like,
this is something like what a lot of people have done, and that's the biggest mistake, and that's why they fell.
Yeah.
Because you know you cannot just like think, oh, I just want to own something, and I think I'm gonna put, let's say, fast food in the middle of a very healthy area. So this is something that would not work. But a lot of people do things like that, and they fail, and they not really thought the whole concept.
Yeah.
But
being conscious of like where you're opening up your spot is probably one of the key things when it comes to opening up something like this. It's one of the most important things.
Yeah.
Because you can't like, okay, feel perfect. Like what's like, okay, how about this? What's like around the same place? What's around the place whatever that you would never open an Avo here? Like where? Like you would never open an Avo at Magic City. You wouldn't do that.
I would not open that, like, I don't know, on Palaco or somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like,
but like when it comes, but how about this? But you'll probably open up maybe like a small a southern spot maybe. Like you got to be very, very cognizant of what you're doing.
You know, but those things, like you take them step by step. I was not in a rush to do all those things before I opened here, and I'm happy and really glad that things worked out the way how I thought.
Yeah.
But it's something that you have to be aware of it. Otherwise, you're gonna be like opening, closing.
Yeah.
You know, for me, it's something that I put everything in here.
Yeah.
You know, I put everything in here because I believed in it. And Marvel, the most important thing is also when you do something, it's first about you, then the product.
Yeah.
You know, it's you selling yourself first and your image, then the product. So if those two are basically matching and work somehow together, then
because here, you know, it's so crazy you say that because it's very, very important to know that because like we know each other from nightlife, but like we're not best friends. But because of Avo, because I see the brand alone and I see the feel and I know you, at least from an energy standpoint and how I know you from like, you know, going out, it makes sense. A lot of these like companies with these other people who like I like people who open up these companies. Some of them don't really come out with things that make sense. That's like brand aligning with what they want to do.
You know,
and you're doing that.
I was a very, very healthy person.
Yeah,
you remember, like
yes.
I was not like the last 5-6 years. I stopped drinking like heavily, and then also I was very into like what I'm eating. I was really into like getting into the food education and like the knowledge about what am I eating is basically who I am.
Bro, I've known you since 2012. You have not changed.
No.
No, think about it.
Yeah.
You have not changed.
To be honest, like it's all about like how you treat yourself. So the way how I eat, I work out, etc. So you're right. If I don't match the product, people would not take it serious because I cannot offer you something very healthy. You not be healthy and drinking and doing whatever drugs, or whatever. You
and
know,
plus,
so
too, here's another thing as well. Like you definitely
that's not you.
Well, you definitely have your fun too, but at the same time, the reason why you also have this is to also show the balance that you need to have in life. You can't just be 100% healthy all the time and not do anything. Like, you gotta have fun.
I have a great time. Yeah. But you know what? I am aware of what I'm doing.
Exactly.
You know, so the thing is, it's not that I don't do it because I have to have my image, etc. No, I love doing things, but those things are exactly me. This is me.
Yes.
You know, like, and this is the fact that I wanted to have something that is very authentic, and that was definitely out. You know,
no,
the
definitely.
food is so authentic and so healthy that represent and reflect me out there. So it's basically both together and melted in a perfect way. Yeah. You know.
So speaking about the food, let's hopefully they should be.
Christian, good. How are we looking? It's coming out. Yes.
Okay. Cool. All right. So we have here. I have the chicken, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Thank you. So we have these two dishes right here, right? So we have you said the pavo. What is this?
This is the Avo Powerball with chicken.
Okay.
So we have basically the Powerball with 7 different type of proteins, and so the Powerball comes with rice, basmati rice, avocado chutney, and braised lentils, and we have it topped with the chicken brochette on top.
Okay. No, amazing. And overall, one of my last questions when it comes to Avo, I know like you're over inspiration when it comes to like, you know, health and wealth and everything else too, but do you have any names of your menu, like your food items that mean a lot to you? Like what's like your one food item that's like, this is like the signature of Avo?
They all almost start with Avo.
Fair. So they all mean anything.
Powerball.
Yeah.
Avo pulled chicken sandwich. Avo coconut.
This guy's a branding genius, man.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Avo
Cool.
coconut.
For some reason, it's like I'm like now it's starting to click. Okay. All right. Cool. No, definitely.
You know, the thing is like I had to pick a name that sticks in your head, and it's not something that you're gonna forget fast. So, and Avo is, I think, something very short, very unique, very like cut, you know, and you keep it.
This has been phenomenal, man. It's a great conversation, man. I really appreciate you taking the time.
My pleasure, brother.
So, I have this last thing. I have this segment called The Last Call. I would like you to, you know what? Nah, this has to be a little bit special for you. Hold on, give me like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I need, from the time that you came here to Miami till now, the top 5, and I know it's more than 5, but I really want you to think about this. The top 5 most influential people in your life, in your career, and why.
And what?
And why.
5 people?
5 top 5 influential people in your life that you know, that helped you, that you worked with, anybody. And I know who you're going to talk to, who you're talking about, which is great. But give me one that a lot of people wouldn't know. Think about it.
Oh, you want me now to call some name out?
And we have love for everybody.
No, I do. You know, like,
but 5
people,
specific people.
You know, the people who really know me, they know that I have a poor heart, and if I don't mention in this moment,
no, it's fine. It's all good.
It's because
it's all good.
I have some other memories in my head right now.
Yeah, okay.
But there's some people that I really appreciate it, and they helped me like out of like situations or dark moments in my life that I don't forget those times. You know, one of them is like my very close friend since I moved here is Hakan. I moved here and I lived with him in the beginning for many years. We have shared ups and downs. He did in his way like the best he could to be a mental support for me. And being there as somebody like from my home country and understands my way of seeing things, you know. The second thing is, second person is Iris.
Okay, you and Iris are close. Okay.
Yeah, me and Iris were very, very close, and then you know, our ways separated a little bit, which is normal, and I think something
Life goes on. Yeah.
If you have love for somebody, it doesn't matter where life takes you, but you appreciate that person for things, and he showed me things that I was not seeing or didn't know at that time, you know, because everything was new to me. I have who else?
Now it starts to get a little harder.
Yeah, you know, also like people who helped me a lot during the process, like of opening Avo. My very close friend also, Drew.
Okay.
He's a friend since I moved here. He's been there from day one, like supporting me, having ideas, and also being there like whenever I needed somebody to talk to. Who else? I have, you know, Mo.
Yeah.
Mo was an inspiration and a
Shout out to
great
Mo
coach
Garcia. Yeah.
to learn from. And Jojo, same way. I appreciate Dave. Dave did a lot for me when I opened here too. Like all those guys, you know.
Yeah.
I'm being honest with you. The whole industry, you know, everybody did their best. If it was a poster, if it was a, I don't know, like showing up at the opening or like coming and supporting here, you know, like I appreciate everybody. Even if you didn't do anything, you know, like you still were an inspiration. Even if you wanted something,
No, of course,
something else, because you need those people also to give you the energy.
Yeah.
To be more motivated to improve yourself even more.
Yeah.
You know.
No, definitely, man.
So for me, it's like I can tell you 100 other names.
Yeah, no, and
You
honestly,
know,
I think
like
Chris
man,
Pacello,
Chris
Keith
been here
Pacello.
since day one, like Eric Milan. I have people that I work with for many years. They come in here and they support like without a question, you know, like they love the food and I love to see them here, you know. And this is something that I would do the same. I think people do that because they know exactly I would do the same for them.
Yeah,
you know?
no, definitely, man. Definitely, man. That's great, man. That's great. And honestly, you know, this is definitely like one of my ways to like show support to you. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it.
For
man.
a person that like I've known
Marvin,
for a
I want to tell you one thing. For me, seeing how you do things and how you grow, I appreciate you. I don't need you in any way. You don't need me in any way.
Yeah.
But I think we are here for a reason.
Yeah.
And we are here to give each other like something in this life to support each other. And like I think life is all about giving.
Yes.
And I appreciate what you do because this is how you show other people, hey, whatever your dream is, you can make it happen.
Yeah.
You know, you were a person that was always motivated to talk. Even like in a loud club, you were a person that were questioning things. And I would be like, dude, really? Now? And I would be like, man, like, you know, this is something that I love how you are inspired by hearing people's story. And you share it with others to motivate them to get people in a better situation.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely, man. Nah, that means the world to me, man. I appreciate it. And actually, like, this gives me more encouragement to pretty much do more, man, for the nightlife.
We need people like you.
For nightlife, for concierge, for hospitality. You know, like I definitely have a lot more going. So I really appreciate that. All right. So this has been phenomenal. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, man. But before we go, if you can please give me all the shameless plugs for Avo, for everything else that's going on as well too. We need to plug this beautiful estates so people can start coming here. More people can start coming here.
So this is Avo, Miami. We are located in Sunset Harbor in the middle of Miami Beach. and we are basically all-day breakfast, lunch, and dinner spot. And we have from healthy to all kind of food that your heart really desires.
Nice, man. Nice, man. And then IG, Avo Miami.
Avo Miami's IG.
Good.
I'm Dilo Miami.
Got it.
And thank you.
My man, listen, it's been a pleasure, man. I appreciate you,
My
man.
pleasure,
Until
brother.
next time,
My
man.
pleasure, man.
All right, guys.
Keep the work.
Yes,
Keep
sir.
the work.
Until next time.